my name is Tracy, and this is a homework assignment for my 500-hour yoga teacher training, and this assignment is on yoga and osteoporosis. So the assignment reads as follows. Your student is a 68-year-old woman who has been practicing yoga for 10 years. She was always active and she used to be a gymnast. She discovered yoga when she was 58 years old, right before she retired. Her practice consists of restorative, mostly, and some gentle movements. Recently, she was diagnosed with osteoporosis. She read that she should do more strengthening and then stretching. So she wants to strengthen more than she wants to stretch. She is interested in Vinyasa, and she scheduled a private session to learn how to jump back from her forward fold into chaturanga. She also says that she loves how she feels after twisting, and she's curious about modifications for twists. So some of our questions are as follows. What would you say about the jump backs? Make a video teaching a modification on the twist, and list the 3 things that you would work on in privates with your students. So let's cover the jump back first. What would I say about doing the jump backs? I would say no. I know it's easy to kind of look at someone and say, oh, but she was a gymnast. She's been doing yoga for 10 years. Well, she was a gymnast. She didn't say she was a gymnast up until she was 68 years old. And she now has osteoporosis. And the yoga that she's been doing over the past 10 years has been very gentle, very restorative. So Vinyasa is a kind of a fast-moving flow class. Fast-moving movements are kind of out when we get into that osteoporosis diagnosis. We really don't want to be jerking around and doing things too fast, going from thing to thing to thing. But we also don't want to do a yin yoga. We don't want to get into those poses where we're just holding, 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 holding. So as a modification for her for the jump back, I would say take it easy on the forward fold, be really easy and gentle with that because that's not really that great for the spine. So maybe be in a halfway lift as that stretching part. Go down to the forward fold, place the hands, and then step the feet back, one and then the other, and then lower down into your chaturanga. But I definitely wouldn't come into that ragdoll pose and just kind of hang and dangle there. That's not good either. So a modification for a twist for her would be, we'd kind of avoid those seated twists. We wouldn't want to sit, in a pose like this and really yank off to the side, because we can overdo it. We can really over twist that spine and we can cause damage. So I would have her come into a pose on her back. And again, I'd be really mindful and gentle with her, not being like, well, you have osteoporosis now, you can't do anything. And don't call it like, well, it's an osteoporosis. You don't want to keep saying things like that. So just say like, oh, this is kind of a half twist or a gentler version of a twist. So just be mindful of people's feelings. So lay down on the back, coming down into a nice flat spine. Bring the knees up, maybe adjust your blocks. You're gonna have blocks off to the side because again, we wanna avoid over twisting that spine. Arms are gonna maybe come out into a T, and we're gonna start to drop the knees over, and we're gonna use the blocks to stop the twist from going too deep. So we're gonna come onto the blocks with the knees, arms are in the T, and then we're gonna turn the head again. We'll utilize the head turn. Spine is nice and flat, shoulder blades are flat, gaze is off to the right side, knees are dropped off to the left. And we aren't going to stay here for too long. We're going to do an inhale and an exhale. We're going to come up, place the feet flat on the mat, and let's move our blocks off to the other side, or you can already have blocks set up on the other side. So adjust our blocks, have them ready. And again, gaze is upward, palms are up in that T shape. Knees come into the chest, and then again, we just drop off, utilizing those blocks to stop the spine from twisting too deeply. Gaze is going to be off down the left fingertips, and we're just going to relax into the posture again, just for a few breaths here. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to get into that yin, where the deep, deep stretch of the spine. So come back out, put the feet flat on the mat. Again, maybe just sink in, maybe do a little Baddha Konasana here, drop the knees off, do a little relaxing stretching, come into Savasana, whatever works. So again, that's just a great little spinal modification, something where, they still feel like they're getting that twist and that good twist that they like before they got their diagnosis, but they're just being more careful, more mindful of their body. So the next question was 3 things that I would work on in privates with my students if they had that diagnosis. First, I would really encourage them again not to hold the poses too long, not to look for those fast movements, really avoiding things like ragdoll, plow, spinal rocking, pigeon pose. And we would work on things like a warrior 1, warrior 2, triangle pose, but we would have them going into them very slowly, really careful, work maybe on a locust pose. And again, just do it in a really gradual way, so we're really honoring that spine, honoring any kind of parts of our bodies, hips, anywhere where those osteoporosis related injuries can really kind of appear after a yoga thing. I'd also encourage them to do things like vigorous walking, look into Tai Chi, and make sure that they're really, really engaging in strengthening exercises. Maybe using bands, using light, very, very light weights when they walk, maybe some little hand weights to kind of keep that, you know, just some more strengthening and building of that bone density. So that's my take on yoga and osteoporosis in relation to the questions that I was asked. So thank you and have a great day.